Does Israel need a national guard? This is a question which has been raised recently by the government, and they have answered in the positive. I'd like to give my view. I have to say at the outset that I'm somewhat prejudiced because I don't have great faith in the judgment of the political figures who are suggesting this project. However, I'll try nevertheless to go beyond prejudice and examine this proposal on its merits. So, the main argument for trying to create a national guard in Israel, before we talk about the argument, maybe we should talk about what a national guard is, because many people don't know. I hardly know. National Guard, at least in America, is a military body which is in general inactive. It's a reserve body, and it can be called up in times of emergencies to actually fight like a regular army, or to protect the civilian population from riots, or to deal with emergencies like hurricanes or what have you. And it's interesting that in America it changed. Originally it was more of a related to the states. There was national state guards, militias. Later, only in the last century did they become like a national force under the president. Although they can still be used by the states as well for different things. And the argument here in Israel is that because there was big riots in a lot of mixed cities with Jews and Arabs 2 years ago, and the police weren't very effective at responding to them, therefore we need a National Guard to call out in times of emergency like that. So certainly I was not happy with the police response to the riots 2 years ago. However, that didn't move me to say that we need a new National Guard. My feeling was that we need to reform the police, because even before that I had strong feelings that the police were not professional in many ways, and I was disappointed but not really surprised when they failed to react very well to riots in all these cities during that time. So I would say that if something is broken, the answer is not necessarily to replace it. Sometimes the answer is to fix it. And we need to have more professional people in the police. And one way they might be able to do that is to make the police local instead of national. Because right now in Israel, the police are a national group. They're not controlled by local authority, but rather the national government. And because of that, perhaps they don't feel particularly responsible to any given place. If they knew that their jobs were dependent on their succeeding in defending and keeping order in a certain locale, then perhaps they would do a better job. That's my basic theory. That's the basic theory in America. Policing in America, as you know, is local. And in general, the police are more professional, in my opinion, in America than in Israel. And in the second reason to conclude why I think it's foolish to create a new National Guard when we already have police and army and border patrol and all types of other things, is that having people in security is basically a waste of money. People in security, not that security is not important, it is, but we want to try to keep the amount of people that are involved in security to a minimum, because people who are involved in security are not involved in productive things like manufacturing or delivering things or agriculture or health services or cooking things or any of the other things that we define as creative. So we want to try to keep that at a minimum, not create more police state type bodies. Thank you, and Shabbat Shalom.